We good? We good to go? Ready? Go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wembley Park for round 5 action between Box Hill and Bulleen Lions. Tuesday night under lights. My name is Dean Monero. Alongside me, Joey Lynch. How are you?
Going well, mate. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to what should be an entertaining contest tonight.
Yes, fantastic opportunity for both teams to gain valuable points. Quick turnaround from the weekend's game. Only 3 days, both teams played on Saturday. Tuesday night, do you think anything that will affect the players' performances?
Early in the season, they'll still be building up fitness, so we might see a few tired bodies towards the end of the 90 minutes as they still trying to get those game minutes into them. But hopefully it should be a good game regardless of that, and we should see hopefully a few goals. Both teams really keen for early season results, of course.
Yeah, agreed. Obviously, Bulleen Lions coming off a 7-1 win over Geelong Galaxy, and Box Hill are on the other end of conceding 7 goals against a fantastic Calder United side. So should make for interesting. Box Hill obviously want to try to improve from conceding 7, try to score a couple of more. Bulleen want to continue their goal scoring form.
Absolutely. Well, Box Hill, they won't have been too happy at all with their performance last week. It was just too easy for Calder to get in behind them, and really easy goals. It was a pretty simple hand-trick for Catherine Zimmerman. A couple of poor errors in distribution out of the defence. But of course, you also have to say Emma Roberts for Calder with perhaps an early season goal of the season contender.
It was a fantastic strike. We'll quickly run through the lineups tonight. Starting for Box Hill United, we've got Adelina Ayrton, Natasha Dakic, Alicia Delosey, Rihanna Ferguson, Naomi Griffin, Emma Hubbard, Asuku Kaka. Superior Lines, Maya Markovsky, Eleni Vake. And quickly for Bulleen Lions, we've got Emily Shields in goals, Caitlin Friend, Alexandra Natoli, Leah Paravelli, Rachel Quigley, Melina Camilleri, Christina Hall, former Box Hill United captain, first game back at Wembley Park, Francesca Ireneo, Sarah Kane, Kaya Morrison, Emily Dolzan. Thoughts on the squads?
Well, on paper, you would have to say that Bulleen do have the stronger squad. They've recruited well and retained some of their heroes from that championship-winning side from last year, the likes of Leah Privatelli, who impressed so much with Melbourne victory in the season as well. So you'd have to give the edge to Bulleen as we get kick-off underway here.
On the way here at Wembley Park, Bulleen kicking from left to right in their home kit in the maroon, and Box Hill from right to left in their full blue and white kits, as Bulleen decide to keep possession and go out wide. Obviously, it looks like Box Hill are lining up in a 4-4-2 diamond formation, where Bulleen are set up in a 4-3-3. Any particular reason why you think Box Hill will go into a 4-4-2?
Box Hill. Well, it's a bit more of a defensive lineup, a 4-4-2, maybe a bit after copping 7 last week and coming up against an opposition that put 7 past their opponents last week. Maybe caution the better part of Valour early on of feeling out process, and 4-3-3 for Bulleen, a bit more attacking, want to get in early because, of course, it was 1-1 at half-time of their game. They won't want to put their foot on the throats of Box Hill early and get an early advantage.
Dakic loses the ball, but Box Hill have got numbers around it. Emma Hudfield wins a throw-in. Ball thrown in. Turnover. They're Prevelite trying to find Christina Hall. Finds her now. Box Hill with numbers around the ball, looking organised early. Box Hill happy to keep possession. Ball played out wide. Good combination play to Emily Vake, who was playing right back last week, who looks like she's moved up forward to a natural position as a right winger, as Dakic comes and intercepts the ball, but is stripped. And Bulleen win a free kick. Obviously, Emily Vake moving back out wide. Last week, they played him as a right back. Looked a little bit lost. Do you think maybe more of a tactical change to put her back out wide?
Well, yeah, obviously a bit of experimentation, putting her at right back when she is normally more of a winger. And, well, I guess if you cop 7 goals whilst experimenting with your defence, it's probably not a rousing success. So back onto her natural position as Bulleen get the ball in.
Bulleen with numbers across the back end. Early shot by, I think it's Kay Morrison. The big centre half has just scored, and it's 1-0 to Bulleen and Lions early on. Fantastic ball delivery. Box Hill struggled to clear, and Bulleen kept the numbers forward.
No, absolutely. Well, we were talking about before, Bulleen may be looking to put their foot on the throats of Box Hill early, and you can't ask for a better start than that. We're just minutes into this contest, a goal in the 3rd minute, and really that's going to put Box Hill back on their heels and really force them to scramble.
That's exactly not what you want, especially as Box Hill conceded 7 last week. You would have hoped to last at least the first half without conceding, but Bulleen Lions are pressing nice and high and suffocating the space, and it seems that Box Hill are struggling to play.
No, well, under pressure early, and now Bulleen with another throw-in. If they can get maybe 2 or 3 in the first, we could see 2 or 3-0 in the first 10 minutes and completely ice this contest, perhaps.
Throw in. Another throw in. Elano finds friend who turns well. Ball whipped in, cleared by Box Hill, not very convincingly. Bulleen with numbers forward, it's cleared. Bulleen just seems winning every second ball at the moment, and have got the numbers in the right areas.
No, well, they've been very well organised set up here. They're just trying to keep the ball in and find the gap in this Box Hill defence, and they've already done it once, so danger signs early for Pythagoras.
Bulleen throw. And Arno will take. She go down the line. Pretty poor throw, but manages to keep possession. Bulleen happy to go around and recycle. And you look at this picture here. Bulleen have 5 numbers in their attacking third. Diagonal ball cut out by Box Hill. It's just that's how you're going to score goals. If you've got numbers forward, it's pretty much 4v4. All 4 defenders are taken, and then you've got the attacking midfielder running through, which will always cause problems. And it just looks like Box Hill haven't noticed that yet.
No, well, maybe they haven't noticed it, or just technically they're not able to do much about it. Just Bulleen flooding numbers forward, putting them under pressure, and probably maybe a lot of coaches watching on the stream pulling their hairs out, wanting Box Hill to get more numbers back. But hopefully now, for Box Hill's sake, a chance to clear and maybe get something going of their own.
Obviously, there is another game on this evening, Calder v Bayside. Bulleen do win today, and if they do score a couple of goals, they've got the potential to jump Calder if Calder drop points. So you can see why Bulleen are trying to get numbers forward and score goals.
No, well, the old cliche is you can't win the league in the first month of the season, but I don't think anybody would turn down being top of the league after the first opening series of games. So Bulleen, I think the goal difference is, just checking the notes here, the goal difference at the moment is Calder plus 23, Bulleen plus 16. So they'll need to score a few if they want to overtake them, but never say never.
Agreed. Paul just here at Ferguson. Just go all the way back to Lisa Dalosti. Played back to her centre half. Finds the 6. Tries to play it wide and just not on the same wavelength. There was a good, decent bit of passage there. Right idea. Just the fullback wasn't on the same page. Better signs from Bulleen. I think the nerves have settled after conceding that early goal, and Box Hill are trying to play again.
They're trying to play, and they're having some luck at least in getting out of their own half now as they move forward.
Liers finds Markovsky. Fantastic feat by Markovsky. Clips it in. Hubson loses possession. Bulleen happy to clear their lines. Back to Hubson. Lions, who did score 2 goals last week, obviously did lead 7-2, but on a personal note, if you do score 2 goals, you'd be pretty happy, wouldn't you?
No, well, 2 goals, it's always good to get your name on the team sheet. There's always, I know players will like to say that they never like to lose, and that's what they're focusing on, but getting your name on the team sheet's always a little plus.
Yeah. Goal kick now for Bulleen, and better signs from Box Hill, out of their half and managing to get into their attacking third. As we wait for Emily Shields to take this goal kick. And yes, we are live and interactive today on Facebook and YouTube, so make sure you share, like, and put your comments through, and if you're lucky enough, you might receive a shout out. Box Hill win the first header. Lines trying to find Ellie Vaquet, but it's taken out. Bulleen. Box Hill keep the ball in. Bit of space, tries across, and I think it's out for a corner. And promising signs here for Bulleen, an opportunity to get their numbers forward and potentially cause real problems.
Oh, well, Box Hill, yeah, they've gone down early now. Maybe they've just had a chance to, all right, we've gone down early, let's reset, it's 0-0, and a bit of sustained pressure of their own here, and we'll see just how well Bulleen face up to the sustained pressure and defending a set piece.
Box Hill got the big players forward, Markovski, Dakic. Ball's whipped in. Flat. Dakic is free at the back post and just didn't expect it, and it's just gone out for a goal kick.
That was an excellent delivery in there. Maybe the delivery was so good it caught Box Hill napping a little bit, but excellent delivery there. Probably the best chance Box Hill have had so far in this game.
Quigley. Fantastic through ball, but Dakic waiting for the keeper, doesn't come. Alyssa Deliris clears high and wide and safety first. Bit of miscommunication there between Natasha Dakic and the goalkeeper.
A bit of miscommunication, but you've also got to give credit to Leah Privatelli there for her hustle in the front and defending and really putting pressure on the goalkeeper and forcing her to turn the ball over with her clearance.
Ball played out wide. Box Hill win it. Kaka. Ball just runs out of play. As we wait for Bulleen to take a throw in. High and wide. Tries to play inside. Turnover. Box Hill with a bit of numbers now. Put their foot on the ball and play. Leah plays with a bit of space. Wins a free kick. And we're sorry, we got a number 3 out on the park, but it looks like there's no 3 on the team sheet, so apologies as we try to get someone to get us information on who that is. We apologise as we look on with a bit of confusion. Bulleen under a bit of pressure, just signs safety first. Likewise with Box Hill.
Phantom left back out there playing for Box Hill.
The Phantom, we'll call her for now until we get intel. And it is another... Oh, it's a Box Hill throw-in. Controversially. By the Phantom. Lawrence comes inside. Unlucky. Good bit of play there by Box Hill. And they're starting to get the cobwebs out.
No, well... It was a box getting the cobwebs out, but now Bulleen have a chance to clear as they're moving forward on the left.
Fernison. Oh, poor turnover in the middle of the play. Costly. Privilete plays Quigley. And thank you to Phil Ware. It's Alice. Ball played through, and the custodian will come and collect for Box Hill. Ellis claiming for a free kick, referee waving it away. It is also, just a fun fact, Olivia Ellis's 20th birthday today, I was informed by Teo Palazzeri. So she will be hoping for a fantastic game, and obviously her first game for Box Hill this season.
Well, she did, in fact, I believe, sign for Bulleen at one point during the off-season and now made a late switch over to Box Hill. So we'll see if there's any maybe hard feelings from FC Bulleen Lions.
Talking about hard feelings, Christina Hall, former Box Hill captain, now made her way over to Bulleen, playing as a left back tonight, usually a 6. A few of these Bulleen girls played with her last year. It's not easy losing your skipper, your captain, to a club, another team, especially now. Do you think there'll be a few hard feelings out on the field?
Well, I'm sure there's normally a great sense of camaraderie in women's football, so there won't be too many hard feelings, but it is hard to lose your captain. She spent 3 seasons here at Wembley Park, was an important part of the squad, and then she's gone and up sticks and left for the defending champions, so maybe just at the back of their minds that'll be something that if she's on the ball, maybe just you don't need to go too softly with your challenges.
Bulleen trying to play. Ball out wide. Tilly Privatelli crosses it in, but blocked by Alice. And they were just happy to keep possession and recycle. Driving infield. Tries to slip. Cutting friend in behind, but just overhit. On the same length there, just the execution was a bit poor.
No, well, you could see what Yamano was doing, just trying to play that ball through to friends, but maybe just a young player. This is her first season at Bulleen since joining from the NTC, so maybe just the development, the skills, not quite there to make that final killer ball.
Dakic. Dakic again, Kaka, back to Gakic, and a good football play there by Bulleen, Box Hill playing out of the back. Good combination, had a good triangle, but once again that last bit of phase, the execution is lacking him at the moment. And Rachel Quigley's grandmother is online, so thank you for joining us. As Box Hill win a throw-in. First foul throw I've seen in WNPL. You don't usually see that in A-League, or I think it's good for the referee to take notice on that.
Well, it's not often seen at any level. It's one of my I get annoyed at it when you see like these players just casually, legs up or around the head and all that. You're thinking it's a foul throw. Good to see it finally get called.
Bulleen tried to go on a kick, but straight into Box Hill goalkeeper's hands. Box Hill looked to play short once again. Fenson. Dakic will get there first. Plays out wide, and that pass was a bit of a hospital ball, but Dakic did well to get there. Early throw-in. Camilleri, also a former Box Hill player as well, back at Wembley Park. Obviously moved to the Champions last season. Had success at Bulleen, not at Box Hill. Is it always hard coming back to a former ground?
Oh, yeah, there's always some... there is a lot of player movement in NPLW Victoria, so there may be some different levels, but I think there's always some nostalgia, should we say, but once you cross that white line, maybe the white line fever kicks in and you're only thinking about the 3 points, especially for somebody like Melanie Camilleri, who's been there and done that in her career in the past.
Box Hill just gave the ball away, but looking good. High and long by Shields. Ferguson just wins the header and headers it out of play. Hermanano will take the throw in. There's a bit of space behind, but opts to go forward to Rachel Quigley. Bit of fancy feet in the corner. Looking to play. Driving at her opponent. Comes back out to Romano, who turns over, and it's a poor pass, but Box Hill Ellis just decides to put her foot through it and clear it out. Looks to seem like Box Hill have decided to make it a bit compact at the moment and decided to they've been organised after that 3rd-minute goal and making it a little bit harder for Bulleen to break down.
No, well, maybe they came out slightly asleep, but there's nothing like a 3rd-minute goal to wake you up.
Ball played in field. Box Hill with numbers around it and just safety first. Just put your foot through it and push the team up. Markovsky with a bit of a press, and she nearly pinches the ball away. Bulleen play inside. Back out all the way wide to Christina Hall. Come back to a centre half in Kaya Morrison, the goal scorer. Morrison, Hall. Bulleen looking good and comfortable under a high press to play out. I think that's probably the difference between you sitting second with a good goal difference and obviously 5th or 6th with a poor goal difference.
No, because you can really see that, the likes of Vatke and Hubbard, they're really putting a lot of pressure on these Bulleen defenders. But so far, at least, keeping their cool, keeping their composure, and not making any of these silly turnovers that can lead to equalising goals.
Fantastic football at the moment by Bulleen. Shields. Looks like she'll send up the 2 centre halves and kick it long. Over the head to Privatelli. Hall clips it forward. Box Hill once again with numbers, but Privatelli's kept it in, crosses it in, keeper misses it, and it's a goal. 2-0 to Bulleen Lions, and that's just come from a comedy of errors.
Nah, well, we were just talking about how good Box Hill are looking, and maybe they've woken up and they're beginning to force their way back into the game, and then something like that just happens to you and it just lets all the wind out of your sails. It was great hustle from Bulleen to get forward, but God, you'd have to be upset if you were Box Hill to concede like that.
Yeah, very upsetting. Obviously done so well to get back into the game and then to concede to go 2-0 down from a mistake where it should have been cleared by Fenson earlier on. But Box Hill now in the attacking third, straight off kick-off. Alice crosses it in. Markovsky doesn't control it and cleared by Bulleen. A little bit better there by Box Hill.
No, I was going just looking at the back of the goal there. It was just, as you said, should have been cleared. But maybe even Dallost, maybe she probably should have got her hand to that and never let the ball go through. So she'll be disappointed after a couple of poor distributions last week led to goals. Another unfortunate mistake to look over in the film study after the game.
Quigley plays it out wide to Lenano. Will play Friend, who tries to flick it around the corner, but dispossessed. Kaka. Turnover. Bulleen with numbers forward and trying to find Friend, but ball is overhit. And it's just these poor mistakes for Box Hill trying to play out that are costing them at the moment.
No, well, although they've done well here and now they've got a chance to break through, but just once again, that killer ball, that final ball, the lack of touch lets them down. And no, it looks like Lions is staying down there on the turf.
So Bulleen decide to play on. Fenson will just clear it out, and it looks like the physio will come on. Lions just, after she played that ball, just dropped down, and it looked very innocent, but must have done something as she played it, landed awkwardly.
No, well, it's very concerning here because she's not, doesn't look like getting up at all. So physio's sprinting on here. So, well, concerns here, but hopefully she's okay. Well, as now the physio gets to her.
It looks like Box Hill are just having a bit of a team talk. And what do you think is going on in that huddle?
Wow, they're probably trying to collect themselves. Down early, down 2-0 very early. 20 minutes gone, so this is not the start they'll want, and well, even more of a hammer blow if Lions can't continue. So they'll be trying to figure out just how do you get back into this game? How do we play out? How do we get the ball out past the press of Bulleen? As we see Lions is getting up and she's limping off. She's covering her eyes. She looks to be in quite a bit of discomfort as she's limps off under the care of the trainer.
Well, hopefully she's all right to come back on, because she's been an enforcer, the skipper, in the middle of the park for Box Hill. But it does look like she's in a bit of tears, so her night could be over. It would be a shame. I think at the end of this day, as much as courage and pride is on it, you'd rather just rest yourself, recover. It is still early on in the season, and just move on and start preparing for your next game.
Well, the Box Hill bench looks to some movement, the players getting warmed up, but they're not making an immediate substitution here, and it would be a huge blow for Box Hill. But Lions, the 2008 best and fairest for Box Hill, so they're going to have to, down to 10 for now at least, as they try to clear the ball.
Ball falls kindly to Markovsky, but Hall, under a bit of pressure from Markovsky, has done extremely well, Hall, to keep possession, and she's given away a throw-in, potentially a bit lazy, but would have got great pressure by Markovsky. Ball with Markovsky as we speak. Markovsky deciding to run at players. Plays Kaka, who will go to Dakic. Happy to keep possession here at the moment, Box Hill. To Fenson. Good 1-2 with the 6. Alice plays Fenson. Ball played in field. Trying to find Markovsky. Flicks. Christina Hall shields it back to the goalkeeper. Fantastic work by Bulleen Lions there, as they decide they want to counter-attack early with numbers forward. Switching ball. Ellis wins. Fenson. Turnover again. Quigley. Dakic long. To Hubberboard. Hubberboard plays out wide to Dakic, who for the minute just got dragged out to a full-back position. But it looks like the skipper is all good and she's coming back onto the park.
No, well, she's still somewhat moving gingerly, but she's jogging and she's going to make a go of it at least. But it's going to be very interesting to just follow her along and see how long maybe her heart could take her as early test.
Alice plays forward as we speak to the skipper. Lines with a bit of space. No one in the box at the moment. Crosses it in. It's a header. Fantastic opportunity for Box Hill as the ball goes wide. Helena Vaque moved up wide, back to a right wing position. Looked dangerous there. Should have been a goal?
Well, no, I'm not going to say should have been a goal. It was still a very difficult header to make, but good signs there for Box Hill getting the ball forward, and early fitness test for Lions, which she seems to have passed with flying colours, although she's still walking a bit gingerly, but hopefully as the blood gets flowing and just the adrenaline maybe kicks in again, she'll be right to continue.
As Shields will kick it long once again. Bit of a handball. Markovsky. Lines. Moving freely at the moment. Might have just been a bit of a corky. Fenson. Good touch forward. Combination play for the centre half. Up in right wing. Wins a free kick. No, referee says play on. And it's a Box Hill throw-in. It looks like a bit of a free kick from up here.
Ah, well, I'm not going to criticise the referees at this early stage. It's a tough job out there.
Ball through. Vaque. It's a bit of space. Plays it back. Tallis crosses it in. Bulleen with numbers. And play out of under pressure. Well done. Lines. Kaka. Back to Lines. For another throw in. Better bit of possession stint here for Box Hill.
No, yeah, they're keeping the ball in, keeping that pressure up on Bulleen as they'll once again look to build down the left here.
Ball kicked high and infield. It's probably bring down a bit of snow with that as well. That's how high it went. Privatelle running at the defence. And well won, Dakic. Kaka. Ball out wide. Turnover, and Hall just goes backwards. And they Bulleen go all the way back to Shields, who clears it diagonally with a bit of pressure. But I guess safety first there.
Safety first, but as we mentioned earlier, Box Hill, when they do get a chance to apply that press, it is a fierce one. Shields had to put the ball out there because she was under significant pressure.
Lines. Looks in field, but turnover. Ball falls back kindly to Lines. To Ellis. Back in field to Lines. To Markovsky. Markovsky with a bit of space. She turns, put back to Kaka. And the linesman is put offside. Emma Hubberboard drifted in. Maybe went a bit too early.
Marginal call there, but I think the linesman has made the correct decision. And unfortunate for Box Hill, but just straying offside.
Shields high and long. Dolzen tried to flick it on. Well left by Alice. Lines in the midfield. Wrestling and has given away a free kick for holding onto the t-shirt. Hermano is going to leave it for a no, she'll play it. No, bit of two minds there. Natoli decides she'll take it, and looks like she'll just put it in the mixer here. Diagonal ball. Boxer with numbers. Fenton clears. The ball won by Box Hill. Emma Hummerboard sends it long. Markovsky not really applying a press. Bulleen happy to go all the way back to Shields. He'll knock it out wide and diagonal to Nano. Got a bit of space inside where she decides to run. Plays Quigley, the former Melbourne Victory footballer. Now applying a trade here in WNPL. It's so good to see, obviously, W League players playing in this level.
Absolutely. They bring a touch of experience here as we... but Bulleen, Box Hill will get that. No, it's great to see we've got a number of W League alum on the field, and it's always good to see that if they aren't going to be playing over in America or in Europe, that they can get out here and keep up their match fitness and really raise the standard of the local NPL competitions.
Pull out wide. Played back infield, and once again, Bulleen just able to ring that final ball, and that's a poor pass. Griffin goes back to Kaka, who's dispossessed by Camilleri. It's a Box Hill throw in. Go down the line. Vake, Christina Hall, little back hill. That's just the composure and the confidence in the Bulleen team at the moment, just to be able to backheel the ball away to your centre half under pressure.
Well, they're a very good... They're champions for a reason. They're a side full of quality, as we've seen, just slightly bit more composed than their opposition. As once again, we can just see them build up through the bank, making these simple passes. Although that's commentator's curse, of course, then they immediately turn it over.
Fenton back to the goalkeeper, who will play it out wide to Alice. Alice under pressure straight away. It's double nutmeg, and she's got the ball again. Alice driving. Markovsky coming in short. Able to turn. Markovsky. Ball back infield to Kaka. Bit of combination. Misses everyone. And Bulleen survive. Camilleri back to Hall. Hall just playing it short to Privatelli. Back to Hall. Composedly just turns away and can drive forward. Knocks a diagonal ball, but Alice gets there first. Fenton plays it out wide to Lines. Lines looking to play a forward option under pressure and is given away. Great tackle by the young girl Francesca Edmonano to win that throw-in. Quigley just goes all the way back to Natoli. Sloppy pass, Markovsky. Hudson. Vake. Touch goes backwards. Aiton. Plays Hudson, who is offside and has left the ball. And the referee decides to give it an offside and not let the game play. A little bit better there by Box Hill.
No, you can see that that's what they've been trying to do with this press. They forced the turnover by applying pressure. They did have the opportunity to break quickly, wasn't quite there, so they've built up again, but that's what they're going to want to do, is once again, they force the turnover.
Vake nearly gets in behind. Bulleen looking a little bit sloppy the last 5 minutes. Box Hill trying to get on top and obviously would like to halve the deficit with the 15 minutes remaining in the half and go into half-time 2-1.
No, absolutely. Well, you can see that now this press, maybe the constant pressure of a press, it takes a toll. It's a cumulative effect as the defenders find themselves constantly harangued and harassed, and we'll see just how long Box Hill can keep it up as once again they go forward.
But once again, the pass is shallow. Bulleen with a bit of space. And one again. Tries to chip the goalkeeper from halfway. But comfortably in the end. And ambitious.
Ambitious, but, you know, have a ping, as it were. You can't score if you don't shoot.
As they say, if you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the raffle. And Arno plays Quigley inside. It's shallow pass once again. And Alice plays Kaka. We'll go all the way back to Fenton. The centre half who just knocks it long to Markovsky. Markovsky trying to play it in behind, but Bulleen with numbers. Alice in front and wins a free kick. the sloppiness by the Bulleen midfielders at the moment. Would that be coming down to tiredness, obviously under a lot of pressure and obviously 3-day turnaround? Do you reckon it's affecting only being 30 minutes in?
Well, one would, for Bulleen's sake, one would hope that they're not completely cooked after only 30 minutes, and it's just maybe the ebbs and flows of the game. But we will see now as they try to go forward. But Box Hill does well to keep their composure and knock the ball back to their goalkeeper.
Fenson looks forward, plays inside to lines. He's got a bit of space to turn. Tries to find Markovsky. Gets a lucky deflection. Bit of space out wide on the right. If the ball can get out there, it just can't. Morrison, the centre half, with a bit of space. Tries to chip it in to Dolzan, but misses her, and it will go out for a throw-in, and Alice will take. Long throw. Kaka will go back to the goalkeeper. Bit shallow, but Dakic does well. And a sloppy pass once again by Box Hill. Nearly got them unstuck again.
And it was good pressure by Camilleri there, looking to force the turnover and knock the ball in. And she has at least won a corner for her side. So we'll see what Bulleen can do with a set piece. Of course, their first goal did come from a set piece. So interesting and perhaps danger signs for Box Hill.
Christina Hall delivers into the box. Bulleen with numbers, but Box Hill clear. Ayrton wins a throw-in. As Bulleen get numbers back, and Box Hill happy to keep possession. Kaka will lock it line, but Bulleen with numbers all around the ball, but it's a turnover by the former Box Hill captain, who's just trying to slip in Vacay, but she's just not quick enough. She's quick, but just not quick enough.
No, it was a good idea, the right idea, and once again we're seeing the ideas and what Box Hill are trying to do, but just not able to affect the proper possession in the final third.
Kaka back to Dakic. To Ayton. Try to flip it forward, but Christina Hall finds Camilleri with a bit of space out wide. Bulleen slowly getting numbers into the box. Camilleri beats one, crosses it in, but Fenson with a bit of space to play out. Vacay. Go out for a Box Hill throw-in. Kaka. Ball has gone out for a throw-in. Once again on that far side. Fantastic evening for football, perfect conditions. A little bit of a light breeze, but it's not raining, it's not too hot. It could be a lot worse, couldn't it?
Well, it could be a lot worse, yeah. And I'm sure as we progress through the winter months, it will get a lot worse, but perfect conditions for football tonight. Balmy, 22 degrees according to my weather app.
Markovsky, fantastic turn. Decides to go herself. Got numbers in the middle, Box Hill. Just the pass once again let her down, and Camilleri has been called offside. The referee hasn't seen it. Very dubious call there.
Oh, once again, I think she quite just got it right. The linesman is right in line with us here, but you could see what Bulleen were trying to do. They've done it once already to get a goal, break down the left and maybe knock a ball into the centre for Dolzan to finish, but linesman's flag this time denies them.
Once again, from a turnover and from Box Hill's own attack, nearly gets them undone, and it could have potentially been 3-0 and potentially good night as well.
Well, it's very difficult to see Box Hill coming down from a 3-0 deficit, but if they can pinch one before half-time, you can definitely conceive of a manner in which Box Hill can come back and at least get a point from this contest.
Lerano with a bit of numbers forward. She's driving, plays it out wide to Dolzan. Got a bit of numbers in the box, crosses it in, and it's the poor execution from both teams at the moment has not help them in either scoring goals, but obviously not scoring goals, but potentially could also lead to being crucial mistakes, and potentially Box Hill can get 1 or 2 back, and you look back at those crosses and final balls and think how it could have been.
Well, yeah, what might have been is the cry, what always might have been, it will run through their minds. But you can see that the press that Box Hill, they are looking to force mistakes. Just unfortunately for them, too many of them have come up the other end, so they haven't been able to capitalise them. As once again, you can see pressure applied to the Bulleen goalkeeper there. So they're really going hard with this press. It's interesting to see how long they can keep it up early in the season where fitness levels might be lacking.
Hall clips it in. The friend who slips in, no one, but a fantastic idea. Just going back to that press, the composure on Shields was unreal. Just to be able to take a touch and then play out, where with Alyssa Dalosete, she seems like she panics a little bit when there's a bit of a press.
No, well, Shields, Shield, one of, if not the best goalkeepers in NPLW. She was best on ground in the 2018 Grand Final, so she can perform in pressure situations. She's been on the books at Melbourne City in the past. I believe she was training with Melbourne City during the most recent W League season, where you're serving as an understudy to Lydia Williams and Melissa Barbieri. So I don't think she's going to be one that's going to get too flustered under any sort of press.
Strike from distance, but we'll go straight into the custodian's hand for Box Hill, and they look to play. And Muhammad board, one finds Alice, turnover. Dulzan with a bit of space in front of her. She get a delivery in. It's a better cross. Finds the box. Bulleen plays, but the ball shot just goes wide, and a fantastic opportunity for Bulleen once again. And they've just always got numbers in the box when they go forward, and as a famous coach used to say, Ferguson, if you get numbers in the box, you'll score goals.
Oh, it's one of the benefits. They're playing 3 up front, so regardless of which flank they go up and attack, you can just see if they're going up the left, they've got Dolzan slipping in there, going up the right, the inverse, so there's always going to be at least 1 or 2 people arriving early for that early ball in.
And Bulleen get a turnover. It's come off the post and it's bounced back into the custodian's hands. Another fantastic opportunity, but a turnover once again from Box Hill. And I guess the post was the goalkeeper's best friend there.
It was a fantastic chance, goes begging, and if Box Hill can get another one here, as you were mentioning earlier, ruining mistakes, that could be one that Bulleen come to regret. It wasn't the easiest chance in the world, but it was a good one.
A fantastic chance. Great. Well, wait, to hit that on the half volley as well, to get it up and under. Fantastic opportunity from Bulleen. As Box Hill look to attack, Vake is in behind, but the linesman flag has been lifted. And you go from end to end here, and it's the game's starting to open up a little bit.
No, opening up as we tick over into the last 5 minutes. Maybe that last bit of extra impetus to get the ball moving and get in and attack, and it's great to see.
Shields will play. Short. Caitlin Friend drops in deep. Lano beats 2, but great work rate by Box Hill to win it back. And then they'll just send it long. Bulleen happy to see it out and waste a few more minutes. And it looks like Box Hill sort of really just want the half-time whistle to come so they can go back into the change rooms and regroup.
Well, they'd certainly be looking to regroup. I mean, it's not been a half where you'd say it's a total write-off for Box Hill. You can see that, whilst I was talking about how Shields maybe is not one to be flustered, they have given this Bulleen defence second thoughts with their intense pressure and their intense press. And if they can maybe key that in and get that final killer ball moving, you can definitely see a way they can get back into this game. So I wouldn't say they'd be totally despondent heading into the rooms at half-time should the game remain 2-0.
Tucker plays it out wide to Alice, but it will run out. And if you're the Bulleen coach, what were your main talking points at halftime? Would it be complacency, try not to get complacent, keep doing what you're doing?
Well, you'd want to be a bit more lethal in that final third. They are creating turnovers and they are creating chances. You just want to make sure that maybe if the ball is there, you play it early when you're attacking up the wings, because as we mentioned, they are getting people into the penalty area early. But for the most part, you'd also want to be talking to your defence about don't get flustered, because we have seen that Box Hill have maybe struggled to build up from the back as Bulleen look to move forward.
Christina Hall out wide, step over, decides to shoot early, but straight into the Box Hill keeper's hand, and a fantastic shot by the left fullback. Fancy feet to get forward, but once again, Bulleen had numbers forward.
No, it was a heck of a shot as well. She got a lot of power behind it, just not so much the placement. And once again, though, Bulleen getting in behind.
Quigley finds Friend. Friend with a bit of space, tries to cut back inside, but Dakic does well. Hummerboard with a bit of space, tries to find Ayrton, but turnover. Bulleen once again come forward. Dolzan beats the man, crosses it in, but it's gone out for a goal kick. Maybe the early cross was the option.
No, well, as I was saying, yeah, that early cross in, you could see what she was trying to do, and we did see a number of times last week Box Hill did concede goals like that, letting the opposition just sneak in behind them, but maybe that's what they were working on in the training track and able to shut it down.
And quality there once again from Box Hill, just passing it straight out of play. And Arno goes back. Markovsky pinches it. Box Hill with a little bit of a press, but Bulleen good enough to play out. Christina Hall. Lock it forward to Camilleri. Goes back to Hall. Back to Camilleri inside with a bit of space now. Decides to shoot from a fair way out. Ambitious, audacious. But if you don't shoot, you're not going to score.
Nah, it was always going to be an audacious trying to score from there. I mean, although it did bounce in a very, well, it did dip and get in a very awkward position for Dal Oost there, but she did well to smother it and prevent it from getting around her as just final ball there from Bulleen this time, letting them down.
We've got about 40 seconds of regular time to play. It doesn't look like the fourth official has a board, so how long are your predictions for stoppage time?
I just got the classic 3 minutes.
Ball played out to Hall. Turnover, Quigley. Plays it out wide. Bulleen once again with numbers in the box. Can they get an early delivery? Just one too many touches, and Dakic does well to get in front of her player and can drive away with possession. Markovsky dropping in a little bit deeper, trying to find possession. Kaka will just turn with ease. He's got a lot of space. Grass cutter. Ball goes out to Alice. Alice back to the skipper, who's turned and lost possession. And Dolzan is in. She comes inside, but the Box Hill skipper did well, and it's been given a free kick. Thoughts on that?
I'm trying not to criticise the referees in this game, but that is a very marginal one with Lyons looking to get back and defend after turning the ball over. She's been one of the better players for Box Hill in this half. Of course, the injury scare as well, but a couple of centimetres further forward, and we're talking about a penalty here. So, although then again, if that ball is in the penalty area, I doubt the referee is blowing for it.
Yeah, agreed. It looks like the former Box Hill skipper is going to take it. Christina Hall, left footer. Perfect position for her to strike it here. Perfect distance. Bit hard. Just need to get it up and under. Christina Hall strikes, clips it, but it's not hard enough. I think she underhit it for being so close. And the referee has blown for half time. It is 2-0 to the Bulleen Lions. I guess a half where it started off Bulleen on top, scoring within 3 minutes. Box Hill fighting their way back, and then mistakes for Box Hill cost them in the end. And the final possession and balls for both teams have let them down. Opened up towards the end. It's going to be an interesting tie in the next 45. What are your final thoughts?
No, well, I think you're bang on. Just a couple of errors there from Box Hill, really have turned out to be the difference. Of course, conceding from a set piece very early on, maybe fallen a bit asleep, and then the second goal, that's really going to haunt them. A very poor turnover, a number of chances to clear, they just couldn't do it, and Dolzan was able to slip in and make it too. So not all is lost. You can see that the Box Hill press is paying dividends at times, so they're going to look to maybe build on that, and Bulleen maybe look to shut that down in the second half. Should be interested to see the adjustments made from both coaches.
And that's the first half with us, so make sure to stay with us. We'll be back within 10 to 15 minutes for the second half of this WNPL Round 5 clash between Box Hill and Bulleen Lions. Thank you very much. And welcome back to Wembley Park for the second half of this round 5 clash between Box Hill and Bulleen Lions. Box Hill 2-0 down, a bit of a mountain to climb, also going uphill, if you have noticed. There is a bit of a slight here. So, fantastic opportunity for Box Hill. Try to get back into the game, 2-0. We're very lucky to scathe more injury late in that second half, but hopefully the second half they can go out and try to score a couple of goals. Bulleen Lions want to come out and maybe score 2 or 3 themselves.
Well, of course, you can never have too many goals. Goal difference is important. Of course, we did see flash up on the scoreboard at half-time. At one point it read Box Hill 3, Bulleen 2, so maybe wishful thinking or a harbouring of things to come, perhaps. But it's going to be interesting to see how they go about it. We talked about in the first half the press that Box Hill were looking to employ, looking to harangue and harass the Bulleen defence into making a mistake. Will they double down on that, chasing the game? Can Bulleen keep their composure? They don't need to do anything more. If they can just shut this game down for 45 minutes, they'll take out a 2-0 win. So it's going to be interesting to see how Box Hill chase the game, because that's what they're going to have to do as the second half we look to be getting underway momentarily.
Box Hill going from left to right in their all-blue kit, and Bulleen Lions right to left in their maroon kit with white socks. Bulleen going uphill and got a hill to climb as we play. Happy to keep possession. Fenson. Turnover once again. Quiddly. Friend. Bit of a 1-2 off the shoulder. Friend. And it's a goal! Bulleen Lions have scored by Privatelli. Fantastic build-up, and we're only 24 seconds into this second half, and Box Hill have gone once again and shot themselves in their foot.
Nah, well, you're talking about how can Box Hill get back into this game? What can they do to turn things around? And, well, they conceded after, 3 minutes in the first half, and now they've conceded in less than 30 seconds in the second half. That is not the start they would have wanted. Catastrophe in a way, and now you can see just from the resumption of play, they've just gone route one. They just need to get something out of this now, need to get going.
A fantastic goal by Leah Privatelli, the Melbourne Victory W League winger. Fantastic start by Bulleen Lions, and they probably can have a big sigh of relief and go, okay, pretty much got it in the bag at the moment.
No, well, I said before they could do absolutely nothing and take out a 2-0 win. Well, now, after less than 30 seconds, they can do absolutely nothing and take out a potential 3-0 win. So, but it doesn't look like that. They're looking to build again, so perhaps more goals to come.
As the ball goes out for a Bulleen throw-in. They'll go long down the line. Camilleri maintains possession. Bulleen slowly getting numbers into the box. Camilleri comes inside. Beats 1, beats 2, and then just loses possession. And Kaka got a bit of space. She'll go keep possession and then go down the line to Vakay. Box Hill just send it long, quickly, a little flick. And if you're in that type of mood, it just works, doesn't it?
No, well, I mean, there's not going to be there are going to be fewer things that get your tail up more than a goal in the first 30 seconds. So 3-0 up, maybe a chance to have a bit of fun. But as we can see there, just a bit of early pressure from Markovski. She's still applying the press. So one Box Hill player at least hasn't given up hope.
Vakay with a bit of space. Beats 1. Decides to shoot from distance, but straight into Shields' arms, and you're not going to beat Shields from that distance likelihood.
No, I was singing her praises in the first half, and comfortable for her in the end, bouncing, but collects as she hoofs the ball forward, and Bulleen, well, they've boxed it in and forced a turnover.
As Privatelli tucks back onto her right, strikes, and just misses Camileri's foot, and it's potentially Box Hill get off one once again, and it's probably just been a lucky night for him.
Well, you could see the class there of Privatelli shining through. Of course, as you mentioned, star with Melbourne Victory in the W League, the Premiership winning Melbourne Victory coming in the second half of the season there, running over the top. She had 18 goals in 21 games in 2018 and very almost had her second there of the game, and maybe Camilleri also just missing out on her second of the game. So very dangerous for Box Hill.
Box Hill are playing with fire at the moment. We'll want to try to wake up, as we've only played 4 minutes in this second half. It's about this time in the first half where Box Hill started to wake up and started to play, and it's pretty much the same result.
Yeah, well, it did take it's perhaps maybe was it maybe a 5-minute delay, or was it an opening goal? Regardless, they've had both again in this second. So, for the sake of the viewers and maybe ourselves as well, for hoping for an entertaining contest, hopefully we can see them at least get one back and make things somewhat interesting.
Box Hill turned the ball over once again in that final third, and Bulleen's high press just superb at the moment, and it was sort of the problem Box Hill faced last week against Calder. The high press, they struggled to play out, and their front two or front three struggled to get into the game, and it's pretty much the case this evening.
Because they're really going to want to shut that down, because as we also mentioned in the first half, last week, although they did win 7-1, Bulleen did win 7-1, it was 1-1 at half-time. They piled on 6 goals in the second half, so they are capable of scoring in bunches. We saw in that game a number of players, I think it was Quigley and Privatelli that came off the bench and got braces, so Box Hill have to be aware that this Bulleen side can score, and score in a hurry in the second half.
Hall plays it in the corner, turnover. Kaka with a bit of space, plays Vake. Markovsky making the forward run, and just overhit, and Bulleen go back to the goalkeeper, and they the play out, and Bulleen's Box Hill's press starting to come into play now. Ball played down the line, and it'll go out for a Box Hill throw-in. Fantastic pressure by the right fullback. Griffin plays Kaka. Looks to play forward. Markovsky finds a bit of pocket of space. Ball falls kindly back to her. Tries to beat one. And then Box Hill with numbers around the ball. Ball played out wide. Lines. Ball runs out of play. A little bit better by Box Hill, and potentially just starting to find their rhythm in the second half.
No, you can see Markovsky playing up there up front now. She looks to be playing more of a sole striker role, but it's a lonely battle up there, but she's battling hard. She's going to try to drag her team back. Of course, she does have the quality to do it. Formerly, she has trained with the junior Matildas in the past, so the skill is there. Can she inspire this Box Hill side?
The ball just, as the player is drifting offside, a little bit of possession is potentially the key for Box Hill, just to get the foot on the ball and get the tempo flowing and get into the game. As Christina Hall will take a free kick. Clips it to Quigley. Go back to Hall. Under a bit of pressure, but comfortably play out. Bulleen switch it. Drop it into the midfield. So much space for Dolzan, who plays it forward to Lalano, crosses it in. And once again, Bulleen Lions from a ball forward through, cuts it back, goal for Calamari. Exactly the same way she scored in the first half, and that's been Box Hill's problem.
No, just the ball's coming in, and we saw it last week against Calder, and we're seeing it again just multiple times this game. They've just been caught out, letting Bulleen get in behind them, get that cut back, and get the ball in. Too easy there for Bulleen. Camilleri, she was really unmarked there. She just slammed the ball home for a brace. So, as I said, this could get ugly for Box Hill if they don't shut it down.
Box Hill, once again, leaving a player free in the box, and it's never going to end too well for you if you leave players free in the 6-yard box. And really, a key to winning games is having a solid defence. And if you've got a solid defence, you don't leave key players like Camilleri up front free in the 6-yard box.
No, well, as you're saying, solid defence, you can't lose if you don't concede. Unfortunately for Box Hill, they've conceded 4 times. As once again, Bulleen get forward. Can they get to the byline again?
Going out wide to the byline. Cuts it back, but Dakic in the right position. And do you think there was a bit of a team talk at halftime by the Bulleen coach? Maybe say, well, we had success in the first half, let's get to the byline, cut it back, and we'll cause more problems?
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about it, how Bulleen, they're playing this front three up front, so there's always going to be at least the striker should, in theory, be in the box with the winger arriving in support. So the cross, should be there if they can get it in, and as we've seen once, it's already paid off in this second half. So it is something that Box Hill aren't going to have to keep an eye on.
As Markovsky pinches the ball in the midfield. But just once again, Bulleen too strong. Camilleri decides to shoot from distance, and it just sails wide. And it's a bit of confidence, I guess. 4-0 up. Doesn't really matter what happens. I'll have a shot from distance, and if I score, I score on and get my hat-trick.
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, she's on a brace, so the hat-trick up, and she wants that. And we saw, I think it was Roberts last week, score from a very similar position for Calder against Box Hill. So, those, as we said in the first half as well, you don't buy a ticket to the raffle. What's the thing that Wayne Gretzky said? You miss all of the shots you don't take. So, she tried her luck there.
Fantastic. As we have said that, Camilleri has been substituted for Tessa Sursino, and Box Hill also made a change where Lyons has come off, the skipper, potentially due to the first half injury she picked up.
Well, you'd have to imagine you want your skipper to play more than an hour. She hasn't been able to do so, so yeah, probably the injury coming into it.
As Markovsky breaks out wide. Clips it forward to Griffin. He's able to beat a man. The ball goes out for a Box Hill throw-in. Ball thrown in. And the sprinklers have been turned on. And on come the sprinklers here at Wembley Park. But play continues. Crosses the ball in. Vacay, first touch, she falls. Appeals for a penalty. Not given. Quigley can't control. Fenson. Turnover. Bulleen looked to counter. Privilite. Quigley. Trade gives away possession. And Box Hill with Kaka. Kaka keeps possession. Fenson. Fenson drives into the midfield and finds feet. Ball back to Kaka, who's dropped in extremely deep, trying to pull some strings. Ball played out wide to Griffin, and the ball goes out for a throw-in. The sprinklers are still on. Maybe a corner to avoid.
Well, I've seen it happen, probably unfortunately in women's football. It's probably an all too common occurrence. I remember being at a W League game. I think it was Melbourne City versus Adelaide that was actually forced to be called off early because the sprinklers at CB Smith came on early. So hopefully someone in the clubhouse knows how to turn those things off because, as you said, dangerous conditions down there in that corner if they run it down there.
As Box Hill break through Vacay. Finds Edson, who turns and is maintained to keep possession. Griffin tries to play in field, but Bulleen pinched the ball. A lot of these grounds, sprinklers do come on due to the council on a timing basis. So potentially those sprinklers could be on until the time is up. And let's just hope none of the ones in the middle of the field come on.
Oh, that could be very interesting, to say the least, as we look. Bulleen, they've played through the press. And look at all of this empty space in the middle of the park. There's a massive gap between...
Sursino plays Quigley, and Dakic does well. Tessa Sursino scored last week, started on the bench. Would that be more of a rest because it was only a 3-day turnaround?
Potentially. She has made well over 150 appearances for Bulleen, so maybe one of the veterans are rewarding her with some time off and with the short turnarounds. But you've also got to say Bulleen, they recruited so well in the off-season with an already strong squad as champions. You can afford to rotate your players when you've got the depth that Bulleen have.
Ball comes in and the Box Hill custodian comes out and collects. Kaka. A bit of space, and if Box Hill can break here, that can cause a bit of problems for Bulleen, but the pass once again has let them down, and there was really no forward movements there as Markovsky starts to press, and keeper Shields under pressure deals with it well.
No, you can see, but as I was talking about before, that there's a massive gap opening up in the press where the Box Hill backs four, as Bulleen should clear this. Oh my God.
As the ball, Bulleen clear. There's a bit of a clash, and Vake has stayed down. Dakic across and very strong.
Now, as I was saying, I've been interrupted twice now by breaking attacks, but there's a disconnect between what the Box Hill back four are doing, dropping back very deep, and the Box Hill attack, who are pressing really hard. It's opening up a massive amount of space in the middle of the park for Bulleen to exploit. So, that's one of the problems here. Maybe two minds for Box Hill. They drop in the defence back because they don't want to concede anymore and try to stem the bleeding, but their attack keeping on the press and just leaving them open to build up. Once again, Bulleen, tons of space in the middle of the park.
Bulleen not only just got space in the middle park, but have also been able to flow numbers forward and cause problems for Box Hill. Even though they're 4-0 up, they've still got an attitude there. Well, look, we want to score goals. We want to score goals. We want to score goals.
No, well, as you mentioned before, it'd take a bit of an upset for Calder getting knocked off and them to score a lot to go top. But, they did score 7 last week, 6 in the second half. So, maybe they want to keep up the momentum going for the early in the season.
As Dina Hall has just picked up a bit of an injury, and it looks like she'll call for the physio. No, she's getting up, so it's good to see the former Box Hill skipper get up and play. Make sure to keep your comments coming through. Maria saying Bulleen have recruited well by poaching many ex-Box Hill players. I guess if Box Hill had the talent, maybe they are a feeder club like Southampton to a Liverpool.
That's a very harsh thing. I mean, Box Hill have made a couple of strong recruitments themselves, of course, as we've been referring to her as Kaka, which is her nickname, but Asuka Kakuza, who's come down from Japan and is since with Volgata Sendai Ladies and Oka Kamagawa FC, so she's a strong recruit for Box Hill. But yes, I will admit, quite a number of ex-Box Hill players running around in the maroon tonight.
Make sure to keep your comments coming through, and shout out to Chloe. Thank you for joining the stream. And also Marge Gabrielle.
Famous Margage.
The famous Margage. Obviously was on the receiving end of 7 last week. Doing his homework now on Bulleen and trying to prepare for the next game so they don't concede 7.
No, well, I bumped into him as well at the South Melbourne versus Bulleen game. So he does his homework, does Markage. He's a student of the game and student of NPLW Victoria.
It's great to have him on board, and it's good to see him in Victorian football, especially with their ninja suit, hopefully in the near future to come out. As Dakic plays in field. Or back to Dakic. Diagonal ball. Bulleen with numbers. Box Hill applying a press. Christina Hall sends it line, and Dakic just clears it in field. High press by Markovsky. Quigley turns. There's a bit of space out wide for Tessa. Cerzino plays a 1-2. Dolzen plays it out wide. Brizatelli strike, but straight into the goalkeeper's hands, and fantastic build-up play by Bulleen Lions.
Yeah, it was a fantastic build-up by Bulleen there. You could see that Leah Privatelli, she was trying to, using the instep of the right boot, trying to curl it round, but just couldn't quite do it. You could see she wanted to curl it inside the far post, just direct at the keeper, but fantastic signs there from Bulleen that maybe we could be in for a number of more goals in this second half.
And it's a bit demoralising if you're the Box Hill coach. Obviously, you've conceded 11 in 2 games. It's not the best record. What do you try to do to boost morale in this squad?
Well, I think you've just got to try to win the game from here, basically. You've already conceded 4. You're coming into this game on the back of 2 defeats against Alamein and Calder. You've just got to try to just turn things around. You've got to look for small victories in this game. You know, maybe get 1 or 2 back, see what you can do. Maybe you employ this press a little better as they try to get forward now.
Markovsky plays Vake, who's onside and beats the offside trap with a bit of space. Early cross. Touch, strike, but just wide by Hoverboard. Fantastic sign there from Box Hill.
No, yep, as I was saying, little victories. They've been able to... They were caught offside a number of times in that first half, but they're excellently done by Vatke to get forward and get the ball into Hubbard and try where she's off target, but you know, can't score if you don't shoot. And hopefully, for all of the Box Hill fans here at the ground and watching on the stream, signs of something to come.
Still 25 minutes to go plus stoppages, so plenty of time if Box Hill do score to get back into this game and potentially grab a point. You never know. You can never say never in football, can you?
Never say never, but I might be busting out the thesaurus for some synonyms because very difficult to see that happening. But as you said, you never know. You never know. Let's not extinguish the hopes of the Box Hill faithful, I guess.
As the ball was cleared and Bulleen went in the middle of the park. Cerzino loses possession. Inferno wins it. Great challenge. Maybe Box Hill just need a couple of those big challenges to fall their way, a couple of hard hitters, and just to maybe pick up the morale.
Maybe, but as we can see again, Bulleen, as they get up to Privatelli, they were just able to exploit that space once again, opening up. They need to sort out what they're doing. Are they dropping off or are they pressing? Because at the moment, they're doing half and half, and it's not working.
As Christina Hall take the throw in. Quigley. Kaka has also won the throw in. Fantastic. And shows a bit of experience there.
Well, she is a veteran. She is one of the, as I said, veterans of this Box Hill squad. 29 years of age, has spent a number of years playing in Japan. So a bit of nous there, a bit of veteran instincts coming in.
As Box Hill managed to keep possession, as Dakic just drops off and says, "You can have it."
No, well, as we'll see how they can build up here. Although coming under a bit of press from Bulleen, and oh god. You could see there, Darlow, just her distribution has been a bit suspect, and once again, maybe heart palpitations when she gets in possession under a bit of pressure there.
As a goalkeeper myself, I think she did extremely well. Good first touch away, and okay, didn't panic, could have cleared it, but still managed to find feet.
Shout out to the Keepers Union.
We've got to stay by each other. As Bulleen look to come through the right, but have lost possession. Markovsky making a forward run. And Bulleen just a fantastic block in behind. Box Hill able now. There's so much space here out wide on this right side if they find it. But Christine Hall just reads it. And she's been at the library today with those diagonal balls.
No, she's been excellent. I think most of the Bulleen attack has been good. Privatelli showing her class, and of course Dolzan as well, popping up with a goal. They've all been doing a very serviceable job. I wouldn't say they've been outstanding, but once again they're up 4-0, so they must be doing something right.
And Box Hill played. Dakic under a bit of pressure is turned over, and Christina Hall gets her head up. Just lacks the final pass. Now the game's starting to open up a little bit. Both teams trying to throw numbers forward. Ball gets out wide to Alice, whose first touch has been intercepted by the nippy right back of Francesca Elimano. And ball goes high. And Elimano's got it again. Trying to look for the 1-2, but Kaka wins possession. Ball goes back into inside and little bit of patch of possession here for Box Hill. Ball falling to them and getting a bit of luck is maybe what they need just to get onto the scoreboard.
No, well, as I said, the mindset for Box Hill at this point, as we get towards the end of the game, is it's got to be 0-0 for them at this point. You're down 4-0. You're gonna, at this point, it's probably safe to say, you're gonna lose your third straight game. But you've got to put that out of your mind. It's got to be 0-0. You've got to be trying to take something from these last minutes of the second half that you can build on and work on in future weeks.
Hoverboard has just been subbed off for Box Hill, and Hayley Gertz has come on. The forward turned left back has looked like she's been pushed up to the right wing. So was that Skylar United last year in the State One before joining Box Hill in 2014-15. So sorry I misread that, but it's good to get her back up in the attacking third, and maybe she can score goals.
Yeah, well, she has been a forward in the past, so it's going to be interesting to see if Bulleen can keep her out.
Hall plays with no, and Hall plays line, but Dakic does well. And it looks like Bulleen Box Hill have gone to a throw at the back, because Dakic is playing more of a right back at the moment. He's been pitching that ball off out here, out on the right near side. There's a bit of pressure by Box Hill, but Bulleen just unable to play out in that situation. Strike from distance is not troubling anyone anytime soon. And maybe a bit of frustration that.
Nah, well, yeah, just they've been struggling in that final third with the killer pass there, and I mean, flash of goal, bank yourself. You never know what's going to happen, but Ayrton, I dare say, has probably had better looks on goal in the past.
As Bulleen look to make a change, and it is Leah Privatelli coming off. The Melbourne Victory winger has been substituted. Caballeri been substituted, and maybe the coach doesn't want any of his attacking players to get a hat-trick.
Oh, well, maybe it's a hat-trick, although you're up 4-0 early in the season. No point in risking injuries. We saw that last week they rested a number of players in the first half, so it's a long season. It's a lot of games still to come, so if you get a chance to manage your stars, you should take that opportunity, I'd say. So, clever substitution we'd go with.
And Hayley Richmond has come on, who is also a former Box Hill player. So, another player returning here to Wembley Park, but this time in maroon. So, maybe she has a chance to show what she's got and score against her former club. As Bulleen look to attack, and it goes out for a goal kick.
No, well, appearances like this, you've also got to say, we've talked about how important it is for Box Hill to treat this game like it's 0-0 and try to get something from it at the same time. But these substitute players, you're being introduced now, bit of time to work, chance to impress the coach, and maybe, and as Bulleen clear the danger, or maybe not.
Ball scraps through and it's cleared. Good opportunity, Markovsky hustling, and a bit of miscommunication between the keeper and the centre half there, which led to that Box Hill opportunity. Box Hill Kaka clips it forward. They're looking a little bit better now, but Bulleen once again quick. Markovsky applying the pressure, but Shields just safety first and shows their experience to knock it diagonally out wide. Bit of a scrap, but Cersano wins a free kick. And Bianca Bislisi says, put Leah back on. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a rule against that. I can't be too. I'm pretty sure there is.
Shout out to Fraser McLaren. Fantastic win on the weekend for Langwarrin. And good to have you on the stream, mate. "20 minutes to go. What would you, as a Box Hill coach, set as a small goal? Would it be 1 goal, 2 goals, or maybe just not to concede?"
At this point, I think you'd want a goal, at least something that you can build on, and maybe you'd also like to see. I wouldn't so much say don't concede another goal. I just want to see maybe a more cohesive execution of the game plan, because giving the coach the benefit of the doubt, don't think he set out to have massive gaps between his front players and his back players when they were pressing. So maybe a bit of better execution on that, or a goal would be nice. I mean, I think Markowski perhaps maybe deserves a goal, really. She hasn't stopped running all night. She's looked likely. She's put the Shields under consistent pressure, so good signs for the former junior Matilda.
As Bulleen looked to counter, but Fenton comes in. And Markowski her work rate off the ball has been amazing. And just hunting down defenders, the centre halves, chasing down every ball. And that's what you want from your strikers. There have been a few mumbles around people that I know who do watch WNPL, as Bulleen cross it in early, free at the back post, and it's goal for Dolzan, who has scored a second for the evening, and Bulleen go 5-0 with 24 minutes to go. Thoughts?
Just a bit all too easy, wasn't it? I mean, Dolzan just kind of snuck out the back post, nobody there to mark her. It was a fantastically taken goal, jumping up and putting the ball on the inside of her right boot and past the goalkeeper, but bit too easy for Bulleen there. Maybe you can just see the signs of despondence beginning to sneak into the Box Hill's efforts, and looking like, unfortunately for them at this point, it's another 5-goal defeat after last week.
Bulleen kick us off again and play it out wide, and Bulleen just picking that ball up too easily. And look at the space. Ever since they moved to this 3 at the back, it just has not worked. It's opened them up a lot more than what the coach expected.
No, well, I mean, that is going to happen, of course. You're taking out defenders for attackers. It is going to leave up more space. But although, to be honest, you've got to applaud the coach for it. I mean, giving something a go, trying to get something from this game, not going into your shell. It hasn't worked on this occasion, but I'm never going to complain about coaches doing that.
Agreed. Going back to what I was saying earlier, as Bulleen knocked this high and long into the box, and Richmond just sees it out. As Markovsky, there's been a few mumbles around the people saying she's capable of winning the WNPL Rising Star Award. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, just based on this performance tonight, I mean, you would maybe hope that she could start banging in a few more goals if she is to win it, but absolutely, she's run and run and run. She keeps going. Yeah, absolutely, I can definitely see that happening.
Bulleen and Box Hill just playing a bit of volleyball at the moment. Kako just sends it up and high. Just a bit of head tennis. This ball drops down and ball's cleared out wide. Christina Hall will come and take the throw in. And it just clips forward to Richmond, but Fenson comes across. Hall, just the composure to be able to bring that down. Other defenders would be able to just mainly just head that back, knock it forward and move on, as Markovsky wins the ball in midfield and decides to break, and it just holds on to it for 1-2 seconds too long.
Unfortunately, she didn't have a choice there. She had to hold on to it. Bulleen sprung the offside trap. I think she was looking to get the ball forward to Vatke, but Vatke ended up being about 1.5 meters offside. So, unfortunately for Box Hill, Bulleen employing the offside trap to perfection.
Dakic sends it long. Kaka, who looks like to play a bit higher. Here's an opportunity. Box Hill with a bit of space out wide. The ball falls to Kaka. Good, tries to flick it up and over, but Bulleen win possession. Quiddly, plenty of space out wide, and Richmond chasing that ball down with a bit of pace, and she's managed. No, she hasn't. It's just run out of play. But Box Hill there on the counter looked open once again.
Open once again, yeah. You noticed at the second, I'm not sure if it came across on the camera, but there was acres and acres of space there on the left for Richmond to run into if the ball had been better there. So a let-off for the Box Hill defence. It could have been 6.
Dakic back to the goalkeeper, who just sends it long. Ball falls kindly to Markovsky. Unable to lock it in. Bulleen, diagonal ball. Able to beat one, but tried to beat it twice. And it's gone out for a Box Hill throw-in. Now, it looks like Bulleen are about to empty their bench with their final last change, and it looks like it's going to be Quiddly coming off. Solid shift from the former Melbourne Victory player.
Yeah, absolutely. A solid shift from Quigley. Really a solid shift, you'd have to say, from most of the Bulleen attackers. They have, especially here in this second half, with getting the ball to the byline, been open to open up the Box Hill defence on many occasions, and well-deserved rest now as we head into the final 15 minutes.
As Box Hill take the throw-in. So last time these two teams played was round 19 last season, and Bulleen did run out 7-0 winners. So to say Bulleen have not scored this many goals against Box Hill is an understatement. Does it look like that Box Hill could potentially be like their handicap team, I guess you could say, score a couple of goals, and if the Box Hill aren't careful, it looks like it could potentially be that, if not a little bit more, with the 10 to 13 minutes left to play.
Yeah, it could potentially turn into another 7-0 victory. Of course, that day it was a friend getting herself a hat-trick, and although I think in round 1 of last season, these two sides actually played out a 1-1 draw, so of course, playing out that 1-1 draw last season and the 7-0 victory last season, maybe half the Bulleen squad was playing for Box Hill. So it would be interesting to see exactly what sort of carryover it's had. But and of course, we all saw last season Bulleen, especially late in the season, they got very hot, culminating in a championship win. So no shame in losing 7-0 to the eventual champions, but then again, it's not something you'd want to repeat early in 2019, is it?
No, it's not. And ball played out to Hall, who tried to beat Dakic, but it doesn't. For Natasha Dakic, it probably does bring back memories of last year. Natasha was at Southern, the captain, the centre half, and if you're the captain of Southern, then you don't get too much joys, do you?
No, unfortunately not. But I think it's a very difficult situation, these blowout games that you do get. Unfortunately, just what do? Do you take as the team that's on top? Do you take your foot off the pedal when you're up 5-0 with 10 minutes left, or do you go for the kill? So it's a situation that you don't want to be on the end of too much, and it's really not. It's definitely not a situation that you want to be well practiced in.
As Bulleen make another change, and it's missed that as there is no board. It is a bit hard to see from the opposite side, so we apologise. But it looks like Sarah Kane has come off. And I think potentially Liana Okonis has come on. Obviously the sister of Kingston forward Damien Okonis, who is a prolific goal scorer in the NPL, scored last night to give Kingston the first win.
Yeah, it was a good win from Kingston. I mean, South looked to batter down the door for a while, but just couldn't convert. And I'm a very interested observer myself that having seen him play a lot, that Jerry Salados isn't starting for South at the moment. That's a big question for me. I would have thought he'd be one of the first names on the team sheet.
As Box Hill break here through Vacay, Markovsky in a bit of space, but ball backs to Vacay, tries to cut it back onto her right foot, but maybe if she took it on her left, it could have been a goal scoring opportunity. Could
have been a goal scoring opportunity, but I mean, it was a good persistence from the former Arpia Leichhardt and Sandringham player to even earn the goal scoring opportunity. She kept going, kept hustling. I mean, she also had Markovsky in support, but once again, you've got to look for the positives in a situation like this. It was excellent effort to even create the chance.
And Bulleen showing their class in possession at the moment. Ball just knocks it long. Dakic wins. Ball falls into the middle of the park. And Box Hill at the moment having a little bit of possession. Dakic tries to find Markovsky, but pinched. Friend plays out wide. Tries to come back inside on her left foot. Savanides tries to beat a man, but the ball just goes into the goalkeeper's hand as she slips. And I've just noticed the sprinklers have been turned off, so positive signs.
We have had a comment from Mark Edge once again, FYI, Bulleen, their 6 goals in the second half came against 10, so maybe a bit of an asterisk on that.
Oh, it was a dubious red card. I did see that in the highlights. It potentially might have been reflected, so Markaj will give you the benefit of the doubt, and we'll just say it was the referee's fault for you. But as you know, we don't comment on referees, as Box Hill slip on the ball and Bulleen break. Ball gets cut back in. Dakic and Fenton misses. Communication save by Alicia Desoil. Ball comes back, shot over the bar, and just extremely sloppy there at the back by Box Hill.
Yeah, it didn't cost them this time, luckily for them. So, as that looks to like Box Hill will be swinging one of their changes.
There's a bit of a crowd in here this evening as former Bulleen player and striker M. Kopok is sitting down there. Looks like with Tiff Aliadis as well, former South Melbourne player who is now applying a trade at the Caulfield Cobras in the state leagues of Victorian football.
No, there's a number of teams in the state leagues that are really trying to build up their women's program, which is great to see. We of course see them in the knockout tournament, getting a chance to come up against WNPL sides. So it's good to see a proliferation of talent across all levels of women's football here in Victoria.
Bulleen happy to keep possession as we tick over to the 40th minute this evening on this fantastic evening here at Wembley under lights, which has provided a entertaining game if you're a neutral. 5 goals. Can't really complain, can you?
If you're a neutral or a Bulleen fan, absolutely not. If you're a Box Hill fan, maybe, unfortunately, another game early in the season to forget. But it's been, once again, we talked early in the game about how Calder had been able to just get in behind Box Hill too easily last week, and unfortunately for Box Hill, the problem has reared its head again today. Just a number of times where Bulleen able to get to the byline and get in too easily as Box Hill look for maybe a late consolation here.
Vacay able to beat out Hall. Dakic finds a vacay, maybe a bit of a nosebleed being this high up the park. Dakic, but Box Hill still got numbers forward. The referee's given a free kick, I think, for something off the ball. But it just shows Box Hill still showing a bit of work rate and ethic, maybe just to get a goal, and they know what's at stake, I guess, a goal, and it reduces your goal difference, as the Box Hill change was Maya Markovsky, who has come off. Strange change for me. I wouldn't have taken her off. She's been unbelievable pressure up front. Is it more of a rest as Hall turns over possession? Box Hill with a chance, but coming through was the Bulleen defender. She's been taken out as Serxino gives away, keeps possession. Ball played forward, but Box Hill win it. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Maya coming off?
Well, she's put in a heck of a shift, and with very little time left, we've got less than 5 minutes here of regulation. She's, of course, attacking the end where we had the sprinklers come on earlier in the game. Thankfully, they are off, but no point in maybe risking an injury to a player that does seem to be one of your better ones and will likely be an important figure for you as we head down for the rest of the season.
As we tick over into the 42nd minute, what are your goals before this weekend's upcoming fixtures? Is it, as a Box Hill coach, are you, as Bulleen, try to break and the Box Hill keeper comes collect? Do you just try and get the video from this evening and focus on setting up a good defensive shape and not allowing teams to get in behind, or do you try to change things up maybe potentially and change formations and maybe personnel?
Well, I think you've got to really just focus. You've lost 3 on the bounce, but you've got to find what are the areas of the strengths. What can we build upon heading into this weekend? I mean, because we have seen that they were able to apply a lot of pressure to the Bulleen attack and Bulleen defence, and at times that looked to be paying dividends at certain points. So maybe that's something that they can work on. Of course, as you mentioned, getting in behind them, that's something they will definitely have to tighten up. But they are playing against the NTC, normally a struggler in NPLW. So maybe there is a chance that maybe a certain way to turn around your form, maybe it's not so much what you do, maybe it's the opposition. So maybe playing the NTC, a chance to maybe just get some confidence back and bang a few goals in.
Yeah, and obviously for the other hand, Bulleen Lions are playing Bayside, who obviously Bayside are also playing tonight against Calder. That's probably more of a difficult game for Bulleen, and do you think they just, in the back of their heads, they know they've got Bayside, and this week at training, we'll have a light session. They'll probably train, let's say, Wednesday, and maybe a light session on Friday, play Saturday afternoon, and try to be able to take the game to Bayside and potentially open up a gap between second, third, and fourth?
Well, yeah, I think you're definitely right in that they'll have a light session. They do have to make the trip down to Kingston Heath for that game as well, so they are going to be on the road, their second straight road game. So, but mostly for Bulleen, I think it's just going to be a case of keep doing what you're doing. You've scored 7 goals. You've scored 7 goals, and at this point 5 goals in your last 2 fixtures. So, why fix what isn't broke?
As Box Hill try to break, and there's just so much space out here on the left, and it looks like Dakic keeps getting dragged out of position as she tries to drop in and tries to do it herself. But Bulleen this evening have just been a class above Box Hill, haven't they?
Yeah, you can really see that this Bulleen are defending champions for a reason, and they've returned some of their best players from that championship winning season. They've recruited strongly, so you'd suggest that, and I mean, even in the game they have lost, they had a lot of good chances against South. So coming into this contest second on the ladder, probably will remain second at its conclusion, because I think Calder will get the job done in the process. But just they are going to loom as championship contenders once again, you would have to say, based upon their early season performances and tonight as well.
And I think it's just the way Bulleen are playing. I think it's round 8. What a tie that is. Calder v Bulleen, first v second, and both teams just at the moment just look a class above everyone else, and that tie could potentially just bring in a good crowd for women's football. First of all, you got first v second, both teams playing good football but also scoring goals. Do you think Bulleen, if they keep this mojo going for the next couple of rounds, next 3 rounds, they could potentially be able to beat Calder, who have looked a standout so far this season?
Oh, I think they definitely can. I think it's going to be a very intriguing battle. It is going to be at the Venator Club Monday night, traditional Monday night fixture for Bulleen, so they will have home ground advantage. I definitely think they're capable of getting a result. Of course, Calder are a very strong side, the only undefeated side remaining in the league, so it's not going to be easy, but I don't think, I mean, if you were to ask the Calder coaches or the Calder players, I don't think they'd guarantee victory either. I think it'd be a very wide open game, very interesting one, so it's definitely one that I'm going to be trying to head down to.
And if you are free on a that Monday evening, make sure to head to the Veneto Club. A fantastic steak roll they do. Obviously, good rate food down at the Veneto Club, and obviously you got the inside bit for after the game as well for coffee. Great setup down there by Bulleen.
No, absolutely. I mean, I can personally very much recommend the hot chocolate as well.
There we go. As Bulleen gets a throw in the corner, as we have played 46 minutes so far, so not long left at all until the referee blows for full time. And potentially a penalty there, but the referee waves it away. Box Hill look to break. Nice step over. Bayerton, Dakic, Box Hill, Kaka just not on the same wavelength, and the ball will roll out for a Bulleen throw in. Pretty much just sums up Box Hill's night, doesn't it? That last bit of passage.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of luck going forward. Not a lot of, as you're talking about, just cohesiveness in the final third and getting in attacks. Yeah, night to forget, you would have to say, for Box Hill, unfortunately.
Another throw in the Box Hill. Long throw in, and Bulleen just with numbers around the ball. Cersano flicks it, looks for a free kick, but the referee says nothing doing. It's Kaka, plays in field. For Topless, goes back to Shields, who tries to take on the striker, but gets away with one there, and she was playing with fire there. Maybe a bit of leniency, or I'm not quite sure of the word. I forgot it. It's gone blank. But just playing with fire, I guess.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, it's late on in the contest, really. I think both sides probably should be, as we can see. There we go, the final whistle.
And that's full time here at Wembley Park. Box Hill 0, Bulleen Lions 5. A very one-sided game. Bulleen Lions too strong for the Box Hill. Final thoughts on the game, Joey?
Well, I think really the biggest storyline to come was that just early in both halves, Bulleen really just set the tone. They scored 3 minutes into the first half and within 30 seconds of the second half. And if you're a Box Hill player, that's going to just knock you completely out of equilibrium. They were never really able to recover. Bulleen piled on a second goal in the first half and had a fourth and a fifth in the second half. So deserved win from Bulleen, once again laying down a marker that yes, they are genuine premiership and championship contenders. Box Hill, that's now 3 defeats in a row. Coming up against the NTC this week, they'll be looking to reverse that and maybe get their season going before it spirals out of control.
Thank you, Joey, for joining me this evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the live stream. It's been fantastic to have this coverage. Thank you to Sportscast, and we would love to see you guys next week. That is all from Wembley Park. Good evening.